Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Taking Up Space, a Michelle A. Mayer podcast. Always excited about coming forward. Car Chronicles edition. Forgot about that. Well, nonetheless. Coming forth today with a conversation to you guys about, are you an asset or are you a liability? What do you consider yourself as? I mean, when you really look at yourself, I know many of us, we see ourselves as our highest standard, right? Hopefully we see ourselves as our highest standard, but is that truly who we are? If someone were to speak of you in your absence, would they say you are who you say you are? And I know that the world won't always reflect upon you what you see yourself as. So I don't expect you to make your idea of self contingent upon what the world says. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that when you look at yourself, your truest aspect of yourself, when you look at you and you peel back all of the projections, all the buffers, all the stuff that you put up to make yourself look a certain way when you leave out of your house and you go amongst the nations in the world, when you set all of that aside and you get down to the real meat of who you are, the essence of who you are you an asset to somebody or are you a liability? Are you someone that enters into circles with gifts, or are you needful of those circles? Are you needful of the people in those circles to get you strong because of your gifts? And there's no right or wrong in this question, y'all, is what I'm leading to. There's no, oh my God, you're a terrible person because you are a liability, or you may be not strong enough to be a gift in your holistic sense. You haven't had the enough experiences under your belt to really be that yet. There's no wrong in that. Because a lot of times in life, we'll be both. We will be assets and we will be liabilities, friend. A lot of times in life, we will be leaders and we will be followers. A leader is not born a leader. A leader is forged through experiences and time and internal wrestlings and ascension into becoming a leader. You don't default into leadership. You earn leadership. You earn the right to lead because leadership is a right. And, I spoke somewhat to this when I uploaded a picture it was a family picture of me as a baby along with my sibling and a cousin and my grandfather. And I superimposed a dragon on my shoulder. And I did all of this because at the time of the picture, the time that I took the picture, I was obviously a child. I must have been 3-4 years old. And in the picture, you see my brother covering one of his eyes with his hand. And then my cousin looking down at her feet, looked like. She wasn't looking forward into the camera. And I was standing there looking and had one hand stretched out to meet my grandfather, as if we were communicating about something. He looked like he was intently speaking a truth to me that I needed to pay attention to. And between all of us, in front of us, was an Easter basket, symbolizing the season of life in which we were all in. And how will we know all of these many years later, 50 some years later, what season we were in during this picture? We wouldn't know it had we not had that symbol, that Easter basket, in the middle of all of us. That Easter basket symbolized resurrection, the resurrection of the dead, enlightenment, coming full circle. And it would be many years later that I would notice the significance of this. The significance of it is, of that picture, is still unfolding to me now as I am in my 50s. Early 50s, but 50s. And that there are several levels of resurrection that you experience in this life, friend. There are several transitions that we all must we all must experience. Just as we transitioned out of childhood, and as we transitioned out of adolescence, and as we transitioned out of our teen years, and as we transitioned out of our midlife years, or young adult years rather, and we transitioned out of midlife, and all of these varied transitions, we would resurrect each time anew from each one of these transitions in our lives. There were seasons of my life, I put the dragon on my shoulder because it was a childhood friend that I had. I was a child that had an imaginary friend that told me early in my life that I could do anything. I'm telling you, when I'm sure as I'm sitting here, told me I could do anything, and it was my imaginary friend. And then I got to an age, me and this imaginary friend we wouldn't have dialogue like I would with a regular person. It was just an internal knowing. It was as if this imaginary friend was internal. It wasn't anything outside, even though it seemed like it was internal. How would I know it? Because I would get to a junction in my life where I would seek this friend. You see, I would go through stages where everyone around me expected me to grow up and be a big girl and put away childish things. And so I put away the imaginary friend and I went into the world and I competed against men and women. I was a big girl. I did all the stuff that the big girl and the popular girls did to let myself know that I could compete. And after I competed and I did all of these things, I mourned my imaginary friend. I realized that all the stuff that I put away were the things that really were worthwhile. And the things that I adopted in their stead weren't worth much of anything. And in me realizing that, I went to look for those aspects of myself that I had buried under all the layers of nothing. I had to get to a place of experience to realize that, though. I had to be a follower. I had to learn the ins and outs of following. Then I had to forge a fire within me to lead, based upon the experiences I had in learning why you don't follow, or even how you choose what to follow. I had to become wise. And in my wisdom building years, I came to realize what was really, really important. And I look to convey that in the post that I put out there today. You see, me and this imaginary friend, this internal aspect of myself that I buried under the layers of stuff that I felt like I needed to adopt to be popular and to fit in and to be cool amongst people, I went to look for. And when I went to look for it, I could not really find it. Yet, I would realize years later that in me looking for it, it sent a signal out, signifying that I was looking for it. And pathways began to create themselves for me to be realigned with or reintroduced to that old internal aspect of myself that I had buried under all the nonsense of life. And when it showed itself, I didn't recognize it. Yet it will be so captivating that it would keep my attention long enough. And I would be so experienced that I would hold myself in the regard that I needed to hold myself in to be able to stand before it. Oh, how do I say this? Yet when you come back into the presence of such, you've grown monumentally. There's been a gap, or so you think, within your relationship. And each one of you has grown incrementally. So much so that you both seem foreign to one another. And life will create a scenario for you to be reintroduced to you, or aspects of you. And in that, if you meet it at any level beneath where that aspect is at that time, it denies you. It rejects you. Volley Bear said, what we talking about? Friend, I'm going to use scripture because I can go, and that's what I say, like the things that I discuss fluidly, some people are not going to grasp. And it doesn't mean that I'm beyond y'all or anything like that. It's just the way that I'm conveying it. So I'm going to rely on scripture, okay? So let's just use scripture. The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Jesus is telling the disciples, don't go to anybody. I need you to go to a particular group of people. It goes back to what I said. You will look for this aspect of self. And not just any aspect, this particular aspect. And you can convey it as a childhood friend. You can convey it as an aspect of self. But you are looking for a particularity. I'm going somewhere. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Friend. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Jesus is giving the disciples a commandment. He's saying, I've given you all you need to know. You're where you need to be. You're ready. You are ready to be reintroduced. You are ready to reintroduce how? These disciples are of this environment. They come forth from this environment organically. Jesus has pulled all of them as he walks through the environment. They are organically of this. Yet they have come into a heightened state of consciousness. They are standing in the integrity of their creation. Activated. And now Jesus says you're ready now to go out into the world and do your discipleship. You're ready to do the great work that I have fed you and nurtured you and raised you up to be able to do. And now all I need to do is tell you where to go. I need to lead you to where you need to be. It's the same analogy of having the desire to reconnect with that purest aspect of yourself. Friend, you will get to a threshold in your life where you will desire it. I led with having a childhood internal friend, and as many of us did when we were children, and then putting that childhood aspect away so that we can go and become big girl or big boy in the world. And only for us to get to a place where we've now layered all of this stuff on top of that aspect. And we're like, I'm no greater than I was when I had my childhood friend. Life was simpler, truths came better, and I felt happier. Now that I've adopted all of these other things and mantles and philosophies, I feel less than. I want that back. This is the same thing. This is that. Jesus is saying, go out now that I have redirected your thinking. Now that you know better, I need you to go out into the world and connect with others, specific people. To multiply this knowledge with them first. There's a reason for that. It's not because Jesus is a racist and he's saying the Gentiles aren't worth a dime. They're going to hell. They're a bunch of mutations. You're the prize. You're better than everybody else. That's nothing but reverse racism. That's a caste system. This is not that. Jesus is telling the disciples to go out into the world and speak with the Israelites and to find the Israelites, because it is of these people that the nations will be healed by. The nations do not heal the Hebrews. It is of the children that heal the nations. So it would make sense for Jesus to go and to connect with them first and multiply this concept, this consciousness amongst them first, so that they can go out and be the light of the world, friend. Just as you knew at a certain interval after experiencing putting away the purity of yourself and hiding it, whether through trauma, because someone inflicted negativity upon it and you felt like you needed to protect yourself, so you hid it deep up under all these falsehoods, or you felt like it wasn't worthy to contend amongst the world, so you added a bunch of falsehoods atop it, and you went out into the world and contended only to find that it was worthless. And now you've come into the knowledge of its value and you seek it. Why? So that you and it can both shine forth in the healing of yourself and of others. This is that. Heal the sick. Cleanse the lepers. Raise the dead. Enlighten those that may be in the dark. They don't have to be literally unalive. They could be spiritually unalive. They could be living in past seasons. They need to be shaken out of their sleep or their slumber and given knowledge as to what season they are in now and how to stand in the fullness of that, to gain all that that season has to give them, so that they can be useful too. Raise the dead. Cast out devils with this knowledge and the connection and the pairing of the power within you. Your light is so bright, friend, that no devil can stand before it. You cast them out and they leave easily. Some not so much. But you have the tools you need to make them flee. Freely ye have received, freely give. This knowledge you didn't have to pay for. You didn't have to know somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody to get it. You didn't have to be accepted into anybody's group or befriended by any community of people to have it. You must remember that. You must not let the knowledge corrupt you. It's a balanced walk. And balance is the one that walks it. You must stay humble to the walk. And the humility is that freely I was given, so freely I must give. It's your job to pass this on. Provide neither gold, nor silver, nor brass in your purses, nor scrip for your journey. Friend, you don't need money to do it. The money will be provided. Friend, let me tell you. Oh my goodness, y'all. Some truths I really want to just say, but I don't. God will provide all you need. You will walk on water. Folks will look at you and wonder, how? Just as you would look at someone that's walking on water and say, how? God is saying here that in moving in this spirit, all that you need is provided for you. All of it. You don't need resources. You don't need a script. You will be able to engage with people by way of your truths just off the rip. You won't need an Android. You won't need an Apple. You won't need a microphone. You are a walking testament. And nobody will be able to copy your testimony. There may be 50 of you. There are 12 disciples. And each one of them had their own unique testament that was based on truth. There's no need to compete. John's testament is John's. Paul's is Paul's. Matthew's is Matthew's. Yours is yours. There is no competition, friend. This is the Spirit of God, friend. Absolutely. And whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thence. Send out your signal. Come forth with your truths. And all of those that are aligned and that are specifically designed to align to you will come. They must come, friend. Friend, I know I say this often when I say, you cannot deny me. When I send out my signal, you cannot deny me. You can try all you want. You will only deny yourself. You cannot deny me. Because this signal will reach you in a place that it will touch you. Whether you are big enough within your walk, mature enough within your mindset to openly acknowledge or not, has nothing to do with me or them. Whoever's sending the signal. That's all you. But you will receive it, whether you acknowledge it or not. That's the part. And that is the magnificence of God, friend. And when you come into a house, salute it. Honor it. Treat it as if it's yours. Do your best. I had an interview yesterday with an individual. And while I was in the interview, my dad transitioned while I was in that interview. And after the transition, we had a conversation that was a very engaging conversation. And I was offered the job. And I accepted the job. Without any apprehension, in the sense that I subdued my own personal feelings, egotistical feelings. We have egotistical feelings. Oh, well, I like this, or I like that, or I expected this, or I expected that. I subdued those. And I accepted the opportunity. And I said, I will will give it my best. I will give it my best as if I were making $300,000 a year, or if I'm making $2,000 a year. That is what the scripture is saying. When you go into someone's house, and when you come into a house, salute it. Salute it, meaning show honor. Be on your best behavior. Thank you, friend. Give it your all. Let your word be your bond. Regardless of what the world may say, let your actions overshadow what the world says. When you make an agreement, you come into covenant with someone, honor it at the highest level you can honor it. Don't give it your average. Give it your all. Because in you doing so, you honor the paths that God leads you in your life. And you get the fullness out of all of your experiences. You see, when you come into the ideology that, oh, this isn't really for me, I'm just going to do this for now, and because I got another idea on what I want to do, you deny the flow of spiritual water. You don't know where God is leading you. You should always have an adventurous spirit and be excited about whatever paths open up for you. And find the silver lining in all of them, because there is one. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return unto you. This scripture says that when you go into that environment, give it your all. Don't you size it up upon first contact, your first entry into that. Don't size it up. Give it time to show you what it really is. And when it shows you what it is, if it's not worthy of your gifts, let your peace come back to you. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. You've lost nothing. You've been useful. You have gone into a region, into a place where God sent you, and done what God has required of you. You have fulfilled God's commandment, and you have allowed yourself to be useful in a place to show God the spirit of those that He sent you amongst. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in that day of judgment than for that city. Shame on them. I use the dragon as an example of my childhood friend, and how I had gone on a journey. That was my childhood friend. That was the most innocent aspect of myself that was presented to that childhood aspect of me. And I found along my journey that I longed for that again. When I would wake up early in the morning and I lay there, and you have that still, silent place you are in, and you rewind your life and all the current affairs that you're going through and all the things that you've gone through before, and you weigh the differences, And you look for those happy places and you say, I remember when I was really happy. I was happiest when life was simple. Life doesn't have to be terrible for you to get to that. If you're anything like me, you always are looking and reflecting. And you say, I sure would. I wonder what happened to my childhood friend. I forgot about that friend. I sure did have a childhood friend. But everybody told me I needed to put away all that childhood stuff. And I had to go and compete and dress up and do all the stuff that big girls do. And I did that. I wonder, can I ever realign to that childhood aspect of myself? Is that gone forever? And I mourned it. I was sad about it. I felt that I missed out on an opportunity. And it was in that spirit that activated the wheels for me to be realigned to that. Yet when I was realigned to it, friend, it showed itself in a way that didn't seem like it was that same childhood friend. Because just like me, that childhood aspect of me had matured also. When it re-emerged and presented itself to me, I did not recognize it. Yet, just like this scripture is saying, when I came amongst it, and when it came amongst me, if I did not accept it and regard it in the appropriate manner in which I should, it would have left, and it would have been woe to me. And if it would not have accepted and regarded me in the same manner, I would have rejected it, and I would have left, and it would have been woe to it. This is that. This is that. It's you and you, friend. It's you and you. And I am excited about revealing greater aspects of this you and you scenario to you all. Whether in the car, under a tree, back in the house, or wherever. It's always you and you. You love more than you'll ever know. I'll never stop telling you. Be good to yourselves and be good to one another. Peace and love.